Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Semi-Perfect Podcast. It's October.
Whoop.
That means it's Halloween time. Yep. So October 3rd, 2018. Welcome you in. You've gone too far at this point.
Oh, yes, I
You're
have.
way too
September 19th.
Yes. So welcome in to our live audience here. And for anyone that's listening on delay, thank you for tuning in and listening to the Semi-Perfect Podcast. I am ACRacebest with Toodles.
Hello.
And PaleoSteno.
Hi.
Hello. And then Hirosashii may hop in at some point on his phone because he had to jump his dad's car.
Oh, do I hear a Saberspark?
Yes.
Saberspark!
Yeah.
On his phone.
No.
Oh, wait, no. That's Hirosashii. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I
is,
got that mixed up.
is Laura there
Wait,
too?
Hirosashii's not even here.
No, not yet. He's jumping his dad's car.
Oh, wow. I wish I had a dad.
I'm sorry, I was laughing at something else, not at you, Saber.
Should have picked... something that I recently discovered is I was going through a 4chan thread. You ever heard of something called Musical.ly before?
Musical.ly?
Yeah, my friends do it all the time.
Yeah, well, I went on a 4chan thread, and it was a fail thing for I guess Musical.ly, which is now called TikTok. And I read this post about TikTok where someone was like, "What the fuck's TikTok?" I'm like, "Okay, imagine Musical.ly taking Vine and having a baby with it. That's what it is." And there was a fail thread of all the different, I guess, people who do these TikToks and just utterly fail. And they had this Overwatch song playing, and the guy singing in the song, I was like, that sounds familiar. It was Gabe.
Oh.
And I'm like watching all these, because they keep using the same song for the fail things. And I was like, holy shit, like, Black Griffin, you son of a bitch.
That's funny.
Well, welcome in. Is Laura there with you?
She's using the bathroom, but she'll be here in a moment.
Wow, how embarrassing. Using the bathroom? Who does that?
Well, while we wait for her to join us, do you want to start doing food posts?
Yeah, let's do them.
Alright, first one we've got from David3X. Today I'm having a Wendy's Baconator sandwich with a salad and my fan art drawing of Bowsette for the podcast.
So,
Nice.
Does the salad truly balance out the Wendy's Baconator?
No.
No.
I haven't had a Baconator in so long.
Sarah, let's go to Wendy's after this. So I could get a salad.
Yeah.
Of course.
Kind of seems like, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff on that salad, so that might match the Baconator in terms of...
Can I ask a dumb question?
Yes.
Is Bowsette a girl?
Yes. Well,
No.
It's a weird situation.
Everybody wants
in
to
which...
fuck Bowsette. Or gay as fuck. I love it.
Okay.
So Bowser puts on a power-up crown and becomes Bowsette is the whole origin of this whole thing.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Nobody else would start
Bowsette,
doing with other Mario enemies. It's great.
You know, I actually was hoping that, 'cause someone's been doing drawings for my character with the Bowsette crown or whatever, and I was just thinking it'd be so funny if someone put the crown on somebody like, I don't know, Mickey Mouse, and all that happens is a pink bow shoots out, and it's like, oh my god.
yeah. Now he's winning.
Exactly.
Paranormal Mermaid, that's Nora, says having some goldfish as I planned something big. That's a lot of goldfish.
Like the post.
Or as they say on the famous and best Godzilla movie ever, that's a lot of fish.
That's a cute bowl that you have. It's a very adorable bowl. I like it.
So is Matthew Broderick like the most deserving actor who's never gotten an Oscar?
No.
After his performance in Godzilla,
No.
1998 version?
No.
Laura's on the phone with her mom right now, but Laura loves that version of Godzilla, which is funny because Laura gives me a hard time for Godzilla 2014, but she likes Godzilla 1998, and I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
I actually, as a kid, really enjoyed that Godzilla as well, and I cried when Godzilla died at the end because I loved Godzilla.
Sarah
Shame on you, Sarah.
Sarah loved Godzilla.
Yeah. And then my
That
sister
was
had
not
it. I feel
Godzilla.
like I've told this story on the
Listen to me
podcast.
right now.
Yes.
That's not Godzilla.
The cartoon based on that movie is really good though.
Yes, it is.
were you
But
saying?
Hillary had to cheer me up by showing me that the quote-unquote Godzilla laid eggs. And I was like, oh, okay.
Spoilers.
Yeah, which only one of them survived, and it was befriended by a scientist who then became the son of Godzilla, and that one is actually a lot cooler, though technically it's still not the Godzilla. Like, it's a different species. It's weird. There's an entire thing. We are from the Godzilla fandom, which I've been a part of for about a week now.
You mean the Godzilla?
Gojira. You know, it's interesting because I watched a video about like the origin of Godzilla's name, because it's like some combination of like gorilla with I think like dinosaur, but the folks who made Godzilla said that it actually Gojira is the name of a person who worked at their place, and he was a big lumbering dummy, so they just called it Gojira. But like. Isn't that great? It's like
Hilarious.
It's like, wow, icon of culture.
Yeah.
Well, where's the origins? Oh, this big dumb shit who used to work at our office.
Next food post
I wasn't there.
is Tomcat having a salad for dinner tonight.
Wow,
Gotta
lots
stay
of
healthy.
salads. Lots of salad showing
Wow, a
up.
bunch of health boys.
I think
Yeah.
these are good vibes.
Good.
I'm having a physical tomorrow.
Yeah.
So everyone's giving me.
So of
everyone's,
course he ate like a buttered popcorn last night at the movies, and he bought
Just
two
a butter
boxes of
stick.
cookies that he's been munching.
just a stick of butter. I held
Butter
off.
carb.
Hold the corn. I'm watching my figure. Just give me the butter, please.
There's a kid my mom used to, my sister used to babysit back in Florida. I'm talking about the early '90s, and this kid would actually go to the fridge and pull out a butter stick and just bite into
Oh,
it.
God.
Oh my God.
My sister used to put butter on saltine crackers.
Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
Interesting.
I don't know. I shamed her for it, but my parents, for some reason, were like, "It's fine."
Rosie Diamond, enjoying tonight's semi-perfect podcast with a homemade burrito bowl. Nice.
Okay.
Like the pool.
Well,
Thank you.
oh, okay. And this one,
Yes.
because there is a picture of it.
Oh, yes, there is a picture of it.
Nice. And then we have Seamus.
Seamus?
Rear Dawn. Eating chicken ziti and broccoli.
That looks pretty good.
It looks delicious, actually. Now this is cool. Railroad Brony says, tonight's special food post playing trains while listening to the Semi-Perfect Podcast and snacking on Halloween ghost cookies with lemonade. Also, it's my birthday. Happy birthday! Look at this. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's really fucking neat.
I'm going to retweet this.
That's awesome.
Because
Thanks for the video.
He has the Semi-Perfect Podcast rolling by.
I see it. It's so cool.
That's going to be loud for people.
Oh, could they hear that?
Yeah.
I didn't
They can
know.
hear the desktop audio.
Whoops. Sorry, I wanted to hear the train.
Retweet that
All
shit.
right. Toot toot. That's what
You know,
Jesus is.
I gotta say, trains are pretty fucking cool.
Yep.
They are. Amen. Princess Deadpool in the house says, almost done, but pork chop fries and steam buttered broccoli. Fitting for a princess.
Yummy.
Dude, did you see this one thing from Anime Guy where they're eating like a Rick and Morty cookie?
Anime guy?
I don't like the post.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking for the Rick and Morty cookie.
I don't know where it is.
Is it
I
on
can't see
Twitter?
Yeah, it was like the second post. I think you guys.
You
Whoopsie.
guys.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't
I
see it.
it. We'll find it. Just link it to us in the Discord.
Yeah, so I do see
Quiet Storm.
stuffed snacks from Quiet Storm. Those look like
Exactly 3 combos.
Are those-
combos? Stuffed snacks, pepperoni pizza,
They look
baked
like-
cracker,
they look like dog treats.
natural and artificial flavored filling.
I mean,
That's the combo.
Have you guys ever looked at like one of those like beef dog treats and kind of
Yeah.
thought like
That's what they look like.
have you ever thought to yourself like, I wonder if this
Yeah,
actually tastes good.
that's what combos look like, but they don't. I doubt they taste like dog treats.
Yeah.
Well, I'm asking,
I've had a few, but they're
I
not
feel-
like.
have you eaten dog treats though? Has anyone here ever
I have.
Were they
On
good?
accident.
Yeah, of course.
Don't you fucking dare, Paleo. It was on accident. What happened is I remember this vividly. I remember going to my Uncle Keith's house and was with my family, and we had breakfast, and we had bacon for breakfast, and we all and this might be a bit of a surprise to you all, but I was a bit of a husky as a child. And isn't that a great word also to describe fat people? Like who's the fat guy who's like, I'm not fat, I'm husky, and they're like, okay, you're a dog, gotcha. But that being, I'm a fat guy, I can say that. But what got me is I ate a lot of bacon, and I think my sister got really angry at me. And later, like 30 minutes later, she said, they made more bacon for us to eat, and she walked out with a plate of bacon, and I took a big old bite out of it, and I was like, yeah, what's wrong with it? It tastes so stale and like gamey. And she's like, ha, you're eating dog bacon. It was like those bacon strips, bacon strips.
Oh my god.
Okay, now I see anime guys. I don't know why we weren't seeing this.
It's still not showing up on our list of.
I like how you guys can see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a Rick and Morty cookie.
Looks awesome.
And tasty. Trust me, we've had them before. So they those are good. Cool. Well, those are our food posts. Thanks everyone for sending those in. Sarah's doing one last check to make sure.
No, I don't even see it.
So?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So, how's everybody doing? It's been 2 weeks since our last podcast. Paleo, anything new?
I've been streaming a lot more on my Twitch, and I've been playing through the Kingdom Hearts games, and I just finished the first one like on Saturday. Yeah, I actually while I was streaming it, I got raided. So when you get raided on Twitch is when like another Twitch user brings over their audience to yours. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Is Kingdom Hearts 1 as good as I remember it?
There's a little bit of jank in it, as far as the first like half of the game, but like once you get the better jump and the glide ability, it becomes a lot easier to control. But it's definitely fun for like any fan of Disney.
Yeah, Sarah, for any fan of Disney, would have easily have completed this game at least once.
I have to pull back the layers of all the Final Fantasy stuff that I have not played. Or
the thing is, like, the Final Fantasy stuff isn't really a lot at all.
Yeah.
It's mostly Disney.
Yeah, which is to me what makes the Final Fantasy stuff just as weird. Like for a while I didn't even realize, because I never played Final Fantasy, that's where things were kind of coming from. So I was just like, wow, these are some really oddly dressed human beings, but okay. And
it doesn't make any sense. Like, I want to be in the boardroom meeting where somebody pulled out a piece of paper on a board and said, "Listen, all right, here's how we do it.
Yeah.
We're gonna combine anime with Disney, and not only will it sell lots and lots of copies, but there'll be a cult following that fucking adores this shit." Despite it having one of the most confusing plot lines of any property ever, because truly it is fucking confusing to an embarrassing level.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to the confusing parts yet because I've only played through the first game. I have the compilation on PS4, so I'm going like in order of what the way they tell you to play it.
Yeah,
So
yeah. The second Kingdom Hearts is where things like the first maybe half. Nah, probably I'd say like quarter of that game. I was like, did they just
fucks Roxas?
I'm like, yeah. Did they just get rid of this character and characters that we came to love in the first movie? Like, are we just gonna ignore that?
Yeah.
And then I was like,
where's Sora?
Yeah. And then I was like, what the hell? Okay.
I was like, it's fucking Halo 2 all over again.
I can't wait for Sarah to play these games because she has no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But
there's a great scene where it has Goofy like incapacitated on like Twitter, and someone dubbed it over. where it has you going, we still don't know what the fuck Kingdom Hearts is. It's like the 7th game, and they're still confused.
Well, that's the other thing that
Someone say the door to darkness.
that's part of what bugs me about it. Like, I love Kingdom Hearts, but it does bug me that, like, right now, as the new game is approaching, I'm sitting here going, I don't know if I'm going to be up to date. I don't know if there's, like, all this stuff that I've missed.
That's why I'm playing through the PS4 compilations. So yeah.
Oh, they have, like, a whole
I'm gonna
compilation?
play through all of them before I get to 3.
Is there, like, a pack you can get?
Yeah, there's because what I have is it's Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5 on the PS4, and there's also another game which is 2.8, which has like Dream Drop Distance, and it's like a lot shorter than the first compilation, which I'm gonna get that. So then that's basically all of it.
I'm interested in getting that.
Like some of it, yeah. Like the first compilation, like 2 of the games aren't like actual games; they're just like the cinematics from those games, so you can just see the story as it unfolds.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's like actually 4 games on the first compilation.
Okay. Yeah,
Like the second compilation is a bit shorter. I'm not sure like what exactly is on that. I just know that Dream Drop Distance is on it.
I'm gonna talk with you later because I'm interested in finding this package.
Yeah, because it's like I think it's like on sale at GameStop right now for like $20.
Sarah, then you can appreciate, and you can play all of the games on the PS4. So Sarah will be
I
like,
thought we bought a thing on the PlayStation Store. I'll have to double check, but I thought there was a deal going on about the Kingdom Hearts stuff on the PlayStation Store, and I thought I got it, but I'll have to check our library.
all right. So we'll check. Saber, Laura, how have you guys been? Is Laura there yet?
Laura's still upstairs I think she's talking to her family.
Oh, good. Saber, how have your last 2 weeks been?
Pretty good. I went on vacation and went down to the Panhandle in Florida with my family. Well, my older sister and her husband and their 3 kids. My mom as well, and my brother-in-law's mother and father were there too. We're off in this little Cape area. It's really quiet. No phone reception, basically. No text, for texting, and the internet was abysmal. Like, your data is not going to work, so you have to hope that the Wi-Fi there is somehow, going to keep you going, which it did, barely. That all being said, I say it's like, ugh, I can't look at my Twitter, but how could people know I'm having a good time if I can't post about it? No, it was fun. Ate some good food. We're walking on the beach. I'm not much of a beach person. I be real with you guys. I despise humidity. Despise it with all of my heart. I despise it. It is the worst. Makes you feel sticky. There's not a single redeeming thing about humidity, in my opinion.
Sarah's just over here nodding and thumbing up everything you're saying.
Yeah,
it's true though, because like at least when you have if it's snowy, you have a nice hot chocolate or bundle up and throw snowballs. If it's the leaves are crispy in autumn, the spring flowers, or the just green leaves of summer. But then you have those humid days that are like, what up, fuckers? Welcome to the sauna. And it's like, this is the worst. This is the worst.
Yeah.
I guess there's one thing I guess I can say that's kind of, good about it is I think the more humid an environment, the higher the ecosystem's biodiversity is. Because there were all kinds of animals over that cape. We saw, like, every night we opened the window and see, like, 7 frogs stuck to the window. It was kind of cool. And this is one of those things where you go out at night, you gotta be careful because there's probably gators, if you're not careful, and insects that you can step on and probably get fucked up, and coyotes, raccoons, and shit like that. But still, like, nothing like a bear. No, actually there are black bears there somewhere. I'm sorry. So don't leave the house ever. I went kayaking in the bay with my brother-in-law and his 2 oldest, one who's like 5 and one who's 3. The 3-year-old cried the entire time. But we saw snakes hunting fish in the water. That was cool. Saw horseshoe crabs, stingrays, lots of fish jumping, herons. Nothing big. We saw bottlenose dolphins on the other side of the cave near the ocean.
Nice.
But as soon as they like basically knew that we were nearby, because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a crapshoot here. I'm gonna knock on the side of the kayak and see if that piques their curiosity. And as soon as I did, they just submerged and we didn't see them again.
Mm-hmm.
They were like 30 feet out, so that's kind of cool. And I was pretty certain they were bottlenose because they were pretty sizable and it was gray. What else?
Should have had a comb, man.
Should have had a gun.
Now everyone will believe me.
It's a 15-pounder.
That's a very light dolphin.
Kill a baby dolphin.
It's just paleo.
Paleo, put on some weight. No. But no, it was fun. Just catching with the family. Just chilling out, just relaxed. There was like one day where I didn't do anything, and it was glorious. So, I found myself with the YouTube work. I'm still kind of like constantly thinking about it, even when I'm not working at it, which is not a good mentality. It's weird, but everybody feels that way. I don't think if there are people who can actually leave their work and completely sever it for like, I don't know, when they walk out the door until they come back into the door the next morning, that's fucking awesome.
I feel like I'd kind of just don't tell my boss.
That's good.
I mean, there's sometimes what's good is like the only times I've felt where I'm sitting at home ever thinking about work is when there is like something where I let's say there's more responsibility on my shoulders. Wow, I can't even talk. Shoulders. But for the most part, I do feel I'm able to separate the two pretty well. So
good.
Yeah.
I think Hero does the same thing.
Yeah. And in a lot of cases, you kind of have to. Like you always see movies about like those like people that get so, I guess like work becomes like, I don't know. This is gonna sound weird, but like almost like a hobby, where as opposed to the other way around, where when like you can make money off of a hobby, it's almost like people are like, oh my god, I love working so much, I'm just gonna stay at the office for 16 hours and da da da. And I'm like,
my old boss tried to make us feel that way. He's like, when you're driving to work from 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m., you should be working. When you're driving from one meeting to the other, you should be working. When you're on your lunch, you should be working. When you're driving home from work, you should be working. When you're always doing work. And it's like, dude, no one likes this job. We're all a bunch of fucking like entry-level idiots. We don't give a fuck. Like,
was that like your sales job?
Yes, it was awful.
Yeah.
He's like, you should just be always in my... That's why 3 people left last week.
We had a rally barbecue once because 2 people were leaving conveniently on the same week, and they're like, nice. Oh my god, we need to boost morale because everyone's gonna think that we're like shutting down or something, because our company is like, we're talking like maybe 30 people that work there. Yeah. So when you have 2 people leave, like everyone's like, what's happening? And I'm always disappointed when somebody leaves the job and we don't have a barbecue. Yeah. I'm like, why aren't we celebrating? So, yeah.
I have to quit so I can get my own barbecue.
I'd be pissed if I did quit and I didn't get a barbecue. I'd be like, wait, that's the whole point of why I'm leaving. I wanted some mashed
I actually saw Final Draft was talking about how he's like, whenever I leave this earth, I want to make sure that there's pizza and RC Cola at my, gathering. I'm like, God damn it, Final Draft. That's the most draft thing I've ever heard you say. And he said, he goes, I don't want anybody praying. I said, bitch, I'm going to be fucking praying a storm up in your soul. There's no way going to stop me.
Yeah. He haunts you. He's like, stop it. Stop it.
That's one fat ghost.
Actually,
I didn't say that.
Knowing Draft, though, he wouldn't say stop it or anything. He'd do that. No.
Well, you know better than I do. He won't be a ghost because he has no soul.
I do. I know. along the lines of how everyone's been and whatnot, and what's new in the last couple weeks, Sarah, how you doing?
Doing okay. Just some personal life stuff coming up. I don't really want to go far into it because it's a bit of a bummer. But I'm doing okay, and me and Race, we went to Disneyland last weekend, I really enjoyed that because we haven't been in a
What'd y'all do there?
Each other.
Nice.
We
Dumbo ride.
we met up with a couple of our friends, Tommy and Shayla, and we had a good lunch at the place where she works in downtown Disney.
Yeah, she works at... Okay, so for anyone that's been
When this
to
happened?
Equestria LA, so if you've ever been to the downtown Disney area, Saber... Oh, actually, no, you weren't there. But I was going to say, there was a restaurant there called House of...
Oh.
Whoa. There was a restaurant there called House of Blues. And the House of Blues...
sorry, we just got a notification that... hold on, let me scroll down.
we got a super...
Wait, where is it? Oh, I think it was a donation. Oh no. I lost it. Miscellaneous?
Hey, keep
What's the
talking.
name?
I'm gonna remember specifically.
Miscellaneous donated $5. Thank you very much, Miscellaneous. The
Thank
message
you.
with it was,
Good message. Yeah, no, we so there was the restaurant there called House of Blues, and recently they completely tore it down, and now they put in this thing called Splitsville, which is a bowling alley restaurant. And since Tommy, who's the guy I do all the low budget stuff with, which don't worry, I know I haven't been uploading a lot of stuff because, like I said, things have been super busy over here, but there'll be plenty of low budgets to come as well. But Tommy, his fiancée, Shayla, she works at Splitsville, and yeah, so if you guys ever end up at Splitsville in downtown Disney and you end up with or see someone named Shayla, say ACRacebest says hi. Yeah, it was good food. I had a lot of food. I still have leftovers, and it's Wednesday. I had pizza and loaded fries. So
nice.
yeah,
Yep, it was good.
it was good.
And we got to go on the Pirates ride since they made their changes.
Yeah, which we'll talk a little bit about here in a second. I think Saber just stepped away.
Oh yeah.
For a moment. But yeah.
Other than that, we've just been working away at wedding planning and all that stuff.
Yeah,
It's getting close.
Wedding's coming up, so we just got me a wedding band.
Yeah. Yep. It's coming in the mail.
Yeah. Well, in other news, I
What
had
genre?
of what?
What genre of music does the band play?
Not that kind of wedding band, Paleo. I honestly sat there. I'm like, do they have different genres of rings? What? Yeah. Gabe doesn't know it. I'm just gonna have him perform the whole time at the wedding because I know he'd prefer to work. But
Just
yeah.
have him do a Michael Bublé impression the whole time.
Yeah. Can you do one?
No.
Try.
No, I'm not. I don't have that voice.
I don't even.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else did we do past couple weeks?
Past couple weeks.
Yeah.
You've been working with low budget TV.
Yeah, I have. I've been filming and occasionally working on the computer for the production of low budget TV.
Yep. And camera. You've been doing both.
Yeah, that's what I said. I've been filming.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So she's been busy. We've been doing a lot on the low budget TV side. I'm actually going to be in Seattle this Saturday for a figure 8 race. So watch out. Not Ever Free Northwest, but it's going to be weird because I think I'm landing in the airport that's right next to the convention center.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna, or where they have the conventions, I should say. And And so I'm gonna be like, whoa, this is weird. But yeah, so going to be doing that, covering that on lowbudget.tv. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
In other news, while we were at Disneyland, I was recognized by a cast member. Whenever I'm at Disneyland, I act like myself.
Yeah, like everywhere else.
Mm-hmm. So that might be why people recognize me so easily. But I think his name is Skylar. And we got off of Star Tours, and I was it's actually funny because the Star Tours exit at Disneyland, they have these long ramps that go downward to get out, and halfway through those ramps you put your 3D
your
glasses
back in a bin and they sanitize and all that shit.
And usually there's a cast member there to make sure that you put your glasses in. And I went to give Shayla a high five as we were walking by, and we completely missed. It was really lame. And so I kind of proclaim, I'm like, well, that was terrible. And then as I'm walking up to the cast members, I kind of realize, oh no, I hope they don't think I'm being a douche about the ride. Saying, well, that sucked. And so then I'm like, well, the ride was good, blah, blah. Yeah. And then I hand them my glasses, and all of a sudden I hear, as I turn around, all of a sudden I hear, ACRacebest? And I'm like, hey! And yeah, it was one of the cast members working there, and he basically said well, you wouldn't know who I am. I'm always kind of in the crowd, but I went to all your panels at EQLA and all this, and I'm like, oh, sweet. And I asked if he was going to go to BabsCon next year, since it's for us Californians most local of conventions. So, and he's like, oh, is that convention still going? I'm like, yeah, man. So, yeah. Of course, hopefully I'm going. Otherwise, it's still a burning convention. But yeah. So yeah, that's about it, really, as far as outside of the topics that you have down here, some of which we could get into. Yeah. But to answer, I've seen a couple of people asking. We haven't yet discussed the MLP episodes. Yeah. I don't know if we want to wait or stall a little bit for Hiro and possibly Laura.
Yeah.
To get back.
Now Saber's disappeared.
Yeah, he's probably just checking up on Laura, or he's in the bathroom. He's probably in the bathroom. So I know what we could talk about right now.
What?
Because I don't know if they've seen it, but I know that the three of us have seen it.
Yes.
Smallfoot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we watched Smallfoot last night.
And we won't get into anything spoilery.
Well, I do have a general spoiler screen that I made earlier, so if we do want to talk a little bit about
all right, let's talk about it.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
So as long as the screen, if you are worried about Smallfoot spoilers, as long as the screen's up, we're going to be talking about this movie.
Yeah, so you can just mute, and then once you see the spoiler screen go away, you're good to come in.
Good to go. So yeah, when I went into this movie, I wasn't expecting much of anything. I feel like the trailers and stuff didn't really do this movie any favors, because I was just oh, it's just gonna be kind of I don't know, one of those not so great animated movies.
Secret Life of Yetis.
But it actually pleasantly surprised me. It was actually a really decent movie. So
yeah.
I went in not expecting much, but I was very pleasantly surprised. I'm like, huh.
Yeah, the music was a lot better. When they started singing, I was like, oh god.
But the music was actually very good in this movie.
There's a song in it that the genre isn't necessarily my cup of tea.
Yeah.
It was kind of borderline rap-ish hip hop.
Yeah, it was rap.
It was rap.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, we're talking about Smallfoot. In case you want to avoid spoilers.
Hey, sorry guys. I ran up to check on Laura. She's actually not feeling very good right now.
Okay.
I just wanted to run and check on her. She might be back down here in a bit, but I'll be here for now. Sorry for the interruption.
I can't believe you. So, have you seen Smallfoot, Saber?
I have not, but Paleo has, and Jim has, and then some other folks in the cartoon community have, and it sounds like it's kind of surprisingly good.
So we're discussing it, and just wanted to give you a heads up that we do have. Well, do we have a spoiler screen up? I don't
yes,
see
we
it
do.
right
Don't
Oh.
ignore that window.
Well,
This is
my
what's on
bad. So yeah, so we do have a spoiler. So I was gonna say, if you wanted to avoid any potential spoilers, but if not, you're good to go.
I don't care. Go for it.
Okay. So yeah, there was a song in this movie. Like we were just saying, how the music was surprisingly good, and that rap hip hop song that popped up. I'm like, this isn't even my cup of tea, but the lyrics were so good that I was like, this is actually pretty badass.
Yeah,
like I was like,
really,
this is good.
It was a really good song, and I actually, when we got home, I actually turned on YouTube and I listened to that song again. I'm like, pretty fucking good song.
It's a surprisingly complex movie.
Yeah.
That's what kind of sometimes movies, in order to have conflict, really kind of force it. I feel like, or they make like, oh no, like the obvious thing that you could tell from any of the trailers is, oh no, we're afraid of humans, or we don't understand humans, or do they even exist?
Yeah.
And I thought it was just going to be a very dumbed down, oh, they're like aliens type of thing, and oh my god,
there's going to be like a huge misunderstanding throughout the entire movie. Because one thing I was very afraid of was it seemed like implied by the trailers that the human that crashed in the plane was going to be the human that the Yeti saw, and that he was just going to be stuck there or something. But thankfully that didn't happen.
Yeah,
I thought too. I thought he was just going to be yelling the whole time, like, no. Yeah, no, it, like I said, it's surprisingly well thought out, complex scenario. Yeah, so it was definitely a movie that caught me off guard.
Yeah.
So
I feel like this movie did a really good job with like handling that sort of complex. Like, I mean, we have a spoilers.
Yeah,
screen
go
up.
for it.
Cause like the whole like thing is that it is revealed like in the last quarter of the movie that they not only does like the chieftain of this tribe of Yetis know that humans exist, but it's like a generation kept secret that they ran away from humans and they have to be on this tall mountain to stay safe because humans basically we're murdering them and all that stuff. And it was really well done, because like a lot of movies kind of do that whole thing where it's like the father figure enlightening the main character, and like there's doubt put in the main character, but then like I feel like sometimes it's resolved a little too easily, or either the main character like doesn't really give it all that much thought. I don't know, but this one, like, the main character, kind of like internalized it and was like, shit. Yeah. It wasn't
your typical like, no, I know what's right. Like there's a roller coaster of emotion. I also like, this is what I kind of figured was going to happen, because early on it's established that there's this like leader of the Yetis who has like all these laws that he wears. Yeah. And I thought he was just going to be like, but I thought they didn't exist. Or, like, I thought he was just going to be like, but no, that's how it's always been. Mm-hmm. You can't just change it because, like, I wasn't expecting him to actually have a good point.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
one thing I'm glad that didn't happen, because it seems to happen a lot with recent, like, Disney and Pixar films, is where who you think is like the sort of like father figure like type character ends up being like a straight up villain.
Yeah.
But with this, it's like, oh no nobody in here is a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like it's all about
situational stuff.
I guess situational, but like the way that people perceive I guess
Based on experience, or I don't know.
yeah.
I like that. I like that when you have hello.
Yeah.
Sorry, I saw my like not lighting up. Like I'm trying to think of an example. This is way out there, but I bring it up because I was talking to Laura about it earlier today. Y'all familiar with something called Les Mis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's a scene. What's that?
I haven't seen it, but I don't care about spoilers.
Okay, well, basically, there's this the guy, the main character's name is Jean Valjean. He was thrown in jail for trying to steal a loaf of bread to feed his family or his sister's dying son or whatever, something like that. And he was jailed for a long time. And I guess, a person like that could harbor resentment, but he, did his time. He abided by the law to whatever. I say all of this to say that basically he went on to live a good, successful life. And then the police thought they found the person who was Jean Valjean, and he saw it as, oh shit, do I stay quiet and let this innocent guy die so I can get off the hook, or do I actually step up and say, no, I'm the guy? And you see all these internal conundrums of like, well, if I turn myself in, this factory I run, all these people who go out of business, they'll lose their, food and money. And, it was just all, it's okay. I mean, the more I talk about this, the more I feel like I'm not making a good point here. But basically, yeah, I like characters where it's not so black and white. Like, I'm not saying clear-cut things can't be good. Because like Lord of the Rings is pretty clear-cut. Sauron's the bad guy. Gandalf's the good guy. We all know who it's got to go on to beat the bad guys. Fine. Same thing with some of these old-school Disney movies. But it's also nice to have some bit more complicated, where it's like, or not complicated, but like, I guess, I don't know, it's like different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've found a couple movies recently that technically did not have a villain to be pretty interesting. There's one like I can feel it. I just can't think of what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah. Paleo, anything else you wanted to add about Smallfoot?
I will say that my favorite song in the movie was the one by Zendaya. Like a Wonderful Life is what it's called.
Zendaya is Michi.
I didn't see that video until like after I saw the movie.
And LeBron James is Gwangi.
Yeah.
Wait, LeBron James?
Yeah, that's something I forgot to kind of criticize the movie for, because it does this thing that a lot of animated movies start doing, is like using a ton of celebrities to try to sell their movie. And I was like, you don't really need that. I mean, like, why do you have Channing Tatum as the main character?
You know what's funny about that is that I'm sorry, this is a quick little side story and it's very fast. LeBron James has a son called LeBron James Jr. and I guess he's like playing basketball in like high school or whatever, and the son recently said like, I don't want to wear my father's number because I don't want people to associate me with him. To which someone replied to that tweet going, okay, LeBron James Jr. like good luck.
Well, so I honestly felt like, I think my biggest gripe for Smallfoot, for like, I got over it, but I felt like some of the voices didn't fit. Specifically the leader guy.
It's maybe because like he's voiced by Common, and I don't think he was a very good actor in the movie.
Well, like the problem I had was he sounded way too young for someone who's supposed to be like, I've been around forever.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't been around that long, but
Common.
like once he sang his song, I kind of sat back and went, well, okay, that's why he's this character.
Yeah.
But
Okay, Common is 46 years old. That's older than I thought.
oh, he didn't sound 46. He sounded like 42.
Okay.
So let's you want to talk about My Little Pony?
Yeah, I'm talking My Little Pony.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna switch over the spoil screen.
Where's Hirosashii? What happened to him?
He's
Is he
busy.
still jumping a car?
Maybe.
Do I need to go out there and help them?
Yeah, just get a flight and go out.
Unless, like I said, I mean, we could stall the MLP conversation as long as we can. Paleo, do you anticipate Hirosashii making it here tonight?
Not until later. There might be some things he has to do, so I don't know.
All right. Well, I mean, let's just go.
He won't be
for it.
devastated. Let's go for it.
Okay.
I agree.
All right. So.
Okay, so
checking. Okay. Yes.
the first episode. So again, we're going to be discussing the My Little Pony episodes that aired over the last 2 weeks. What Lies Beneath and The Sounds of Silence. So we will be discussing spoilers. So again, we have our spoiler tag up. If anyone wants to avoid spoilers, wait until that spoiler tag goes away. You can mute the podcast. Now, all I'm saying is the episode What Lies Beneath is not like the movie What Lies Beneath. Harrison Ford wasn't even in this. So.
All right. So for What Lies Beneath, the synopsis is: the students at Twilight School of Friendship are cramming for an exam on the history of magic in Equestria in the school library when they discover a part of the school that no other ponies know about. So, this episode was interesting, and I feel like it's a odd choice for, like, I guess not only the Tree of Harmony to have a conscious form, but on top of that,
The Tree of Harmony is going to evolve and, like, kill everybody.
it's Twilight. Like, the Tree of Harmony chose to be like, I'm Twilight Sparkle.
Well, it's the trees.
but even more sparkly.
It's the trees, like, persona.
Wow.
Pony Sona.
I have chosen this mortal coil because you all cannot fathom my true design or whatever.
You're a tree.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah, these roots run deep, don't they? But no, it's kind of cool to see. Like it's I don't know. Throughout all of like My Little Pony, it's like what's the magic exactly? Is it good magic, dark magic? Is it neutral magic that can be used for good or bad? And to see the Tree of Harmony actually like as a being talk, it's like, okay, there's some kind of like good. There's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo. But there's like, it's a good magic that like kind of wants the betterment for all of the creatures of Equestria. And I'm like, that's kind of fucking cool.
Yeah. I just
Get
feel
out of
like
the way, Celestia. Trees coming through.
Yeah, I just feel like it's weird that it's taken the form of Twilight Sparkle. Like when you could have like done a cool design.
Yeah.
I mean, part of me understands
Maybe
it.
it can only take the form of the main six because like it's connected to them.
Oh, maybe.
I was just gonna say I guess
Maybe.
yeah. It so in this episode the each of the students are tested.
Yeah, we finally get like an episode that's actually like focuses on those kids without like
It's funny because for how short of
the
time
teachers being
each
stupid.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say for as short of time I feel that each of these characters gets, because we do focus on a lot of characters.
Yeah.
I feel like for a number of them, not all of them, but some of them actually get a surprising amount of character development.
Yeah.
In this, Smolder for one.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know how I feel
What's
about
your
that
problem?
one. I feel like it's such a big trope for the tomboy girl to secretly have a affinity for cuteness, and I'm just like, can we just stop doing that? Like, I think what makes it like even more worse for me, like, is that like they are so insecure about it, and they're like, it's gotta be a secret. Like, I can't like cute stuff, and I'm like, if you like cute stuff, just be open about it.
But I find it adorable.
You find it adorable, but I'm like, fucking seen it like
When
15 times.
Sarah,
like,
can I give an example?
can a girl be a tomboy and not have to have a secret like, I don't like cutesy stuff, and then like the background
Sarah's being like this because she is a tomboy who secretly likes cutesy stuff. Whenever I see this girl in a dress, I'm like, whoa!
Flutterbutt thanks me. Big caps. Thank you, Sarah.
No, I mean, whatever. It's fine. I mean, I actually personally liked how Smolder, like, I guess completely forgot that she was just sitting there in a dress and all in makeup, and it's like,
and Gallus is just like, what happened to you?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I know it's like a trope-ish kind of thing, but I actually kind of like that myself. So, yeah.
I mean, it's fine for like a kid show, but I'm just like, I've seen it so many times. It's like at this point, do like boyish girls even
there
exist.
there was a very interesting amount though of like you had Smolder, which I felt like that was a pretty big like personal thing.
Yeah.
And then you had what's his name? Everyone's least favorite.
Gallus.
Yeah. Who is like, I'm claustrophobic. And then you had like Yona, who's like, I'm scared of spiders.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, ooh, that's so different. Where then you had Fish Girl, who's like I have nightmares about the Storm King, yada yada. Where I'm like, that's a deep rooted fear. Like, wow. But it's funny because like I also felt like there was a very I felt like the rules to these tests were very not like strictly enforced. Because if it was supposed to be each person overcoming the test, like, only the first 2 people really overcame it. Well, I guess Yona, too. 3 people really overcame their tests, and then everyone else was like, hey, this is a test. Oh.
Okay. Patrol in the chat, sorry, I have to point this out. Hey, you're gonna have to suck it up when you put on that dress for your wedding, Sarah, LOL. Honestly, if I felt like I could... without either your side of the family being like, or my side of the family being like, I would have totally worn a tux. And I know you probably would have been like,
No, I would have been like, hell no, this is my opportunity to force you into a dress.
But yeah.
Why? I want to know why.
Because tuxes look good on girls. And, like, it's a lot more comfortable than a dress.
See, this is Sarah covering up for her Smolder-like love for cute things.
No, I enjoy wearing the dress. I think it looks nice on me. I enjoy being in the dress, but that doesn't mean that at the end of my wedding day, I'm just gonna, like, rip that thing off and be like,
I'll help.
Thank you.
If you need any help ripping it off, let me know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other thoughts on this episode?
I knew that little shit was like up to something.
Oh yeah.
Right?
That was such a weird. Okay. Good point, Paleo.
Yeah. We almost like completely.
Don't fucking trust that
Cozy glow.
No.
I literally yelled at the TV when she was doing her thing where she's like, and you suck, and you suck. And I'm just like, fuck you, little bitch. Like, go away. And then she comes back, she's like, I'm sorry, I just went to make a big mess of things.
Oh my fault.
And then, then I'm like, but it was funny because it almost felt like the episode knows, like, there's something up with this chick, but the chick herself doesn't know. Because, like, usually at that moment where there's, like, that dun, 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 zoom in on a character, usually that character will kind of have a facial expression that acknowledges the music. Mm-hmm. Like, instead it was just like, and then it was like, dun, dun, dun. And she just kept smiling innocently, and I'm like,
let Cozy take care of everything.
Dun dun dun. Yeah,
My little
but
pony.
I do still love that they still do this kind of thing that makes us go like, wait, what's going on? So yeah. I eagerly await to find out.
I knew there was something weird about that girl the first time she showed up. Like,
isn't this her 3rd episode?
Is it her 3rd episode?
Or no, 2nd.
2nd? Like where she's like kind of like a prominent role?
Yeah.
Like, because the first one was like when she was getting the CMC to do her
Yeah,
homework for her, and
which
then
was
she failed
like-
on purpose, and then she's like, "Oh, I just did it so I could spend more time." I don't know.
That moral is gonna be so funny if it turns out that there's something up with this character, because like they're like, well, this is what we learned.
There's definitely something up with that character. Like,
They should literally just like, I hope that they just keep her like she's actually just completely oblivious to how shitty she is, and she's not actually a villain,
Yeah.
and like somehow ruins everything for stuff. I just, yeah.
apparently it is 3rd. I don't remember when she appeared between.
She's Flurry Heart.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got stuff like spoiled for me for the finale, so I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, I ran into a spoiler, like it was like a screenshot, and I'm just like, oh. But
Oh no, I was just like theorizing about stuff, and people were like, well, that's not going to
no.
happen. And I was like, what? What?
oh no.
See, that's why
Yeah.
I've been lucky so far. I've been
Yeah.
avoiding stuff. I don't want to see. When does the finale come out? Do we have a
In
date?
A couple weeks.
It is a couple weeks. Of course, I'm gonna still be finishing up this react, and then they're gonna be like, finale time. No breaks. That finale react, I might have to push back a little bit because I'm gonna be quite unavailable in December.
Yeah, just a reminder for people in chat, please don't post any spoilers for episodes that we have not, talked about, as in, because I know that, like, a lot of people have already seen the season finale.
Yeah, just don't, for people that haven't seen
Yeah,
it, don't do that.
don't do that. That's not nice.
And that's bad. Okay,
right.
anything else anyone wants to add about what lies beneath? Okay.
All right, the next one is Sounds of Silence. Fluttershy and Applejack journey to the edge of the map on a friendship quest to help a group of ponies who are so afraid of hurting each other's feelings, they've taken a potion of silence.
This is a fun episode.
I mean, if I burned when I got angry, I mean, I'd probably do that too.
Yeah.
You know what? That sounds more like it's a fucking evolutionary failure, if anything.
Yeah.
So
Let them die.
yeah. So this episode.
That being said, cool designs. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of designs, like this episode introduces a new species, like that is based on an actual like mythological creature in China called the Kirin, and the designs are phenomenal.
Yeah,
And
stellar.
they're very good, and I very much enjoy. Like I feel like this season has been a very good season for like showing new species or like new creatures from around Equestria, and I feel like why didn't y'all start doing that earlier? Because
They kind of kicked it off with the My Little Pony movie because
yeah,
that was one of my favorite things about the movie is the world building,
Yeah.
like seeing like the towns and the different species and races, and I'm like, this is cool. And then it gives you an idea that Equestria is a continent or an area, not the world.
Right.
And then they've been running with that ever since the seasons, pick back up. Because like you're right, like it feels a lot bigger.
yeah,
And that's nice. I like that.
yeah.
It's been great.
And I think it also helps with, story fatigue to introduce new types of species or characters, and they all have their own, like, problems. They all have their own, like, unique stuff that you could just, like, write 10 books about. Like, it's really neat. Like, this episode is really good, and am I mistaken? Is this a new person's... Did a new person write this episode, or
I don't know.
Okay.
I can't remember.
I thought that someone new to the show wrote this one, and if that is the case, then like A+, you did a very good job. Like this is a very good episode.
What did you think of the main new character?
I love her. I love her. She's so.
I love her raspy
yeah.
voice. She's so cute.
And
I thought she was gonna get annoying, but
Nope.
she never.
didn't.
She never teetered off that edge.
I just thought like she was gonna be like over the top
Yeah.
with how things were like starting out.
Mhm.
I was like, but
Well, that felt kind of close to what's the mermaid princess from the Pony movie? I forget her name.
Skystar.
Star.
Yeah.
Hi,
I
Hero!
thought-
It's Hero.
Hey.
Well, I thought Skystar would have been that way, where I was like, oh, she's a little bit too much, and there were moments where that even happens with Pinkie Pie.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I'm with you. Like, I expected this character to be like more obnoxious, annoying, but saying no, this is more like she kind of backs up her excitement with logic,
Mhm.
and it's really cute. And again, I'm a sucker for the raspy voice, so
Mm.
that was great. I immediately dropped my pants. No, it was the My Little Pony movie
Same.
screening all over again. But
Applejack!
so, but yeah, I just it's funny because during the when we were approaching the mid-season for this season,
Mhm.
I kind of thought, okay, things are slowing down. But then they picked it right back up, and
Mhm.
as I said, season 8 has been one of the best ones yet. definitely praising it, and it's not even over yet. So yeah, it's good shit, man. I like their show. Still good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm glad I popped in right during this part because I really like this episode quite a bit. After sitting on it for a little bit, I was like, yeah, that was a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Yeah,
like
it
top
has-
10, not like top 10 or anything, like top 30, and that's still saying quite a bit because there are a lot of episodes.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I like
and
this.
it has like your 2 favorite in the main 6.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah, I like
It
your
was funny
dynamic
bec-
in this one.
Right, because when I was watching with Paleo, I was like, this episode's gonna be terrible.
Guys, I'll
because
be
it
right
has
back.
my
I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Has my 2 favorite, has Applejack and Fluttershy together. The last time they were together, that episode was not very good in my opinion.
Which one was
And
that one?
I don't like they went to Flim and Flam or something, I believe.
Yeah.
Right?
It was
I was like,
it was the casino.
Right, that one. But that might have to do with the fact that I don't like Flim and Flam. But and then AJ episodes prior to that like haven't been good in my opinion since like the last roundup.
Yeah.
So long ago.
Yeah.
So I was like, there's no way this episode's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. Karen's adorable. Her
Did-
voice is adorable.
Did
And
you
the
like
song?
Fluttershy? She was
The
actually
blood. Oh yeah, they actually progressed with Fluttershy's character.
Yeah.
I was like, she's gonna get trampled on again. Oh my god, I've had enough of this. And she was like, Applejack! I was like, yeah!
I feel like this is the first time she properly used what she's learned. Like
Yeah.
she's had a
Right.
lot of
Finally.
screw ups go like
Right.
way over the top, and this was like her like, shut up.
Yeah.
Here's what
There
I
was
got.
something so relieving about it. I was like, oh, they didn't do the trope. They didn't do it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been listening to that song quite a bit today, actually. The chorus of it is so freaking pretty, man.
Mm-hmm.
Can we acknowledge how terrifying it would be to have a river that you jump into and then you can never talk again? Like,
Like, what if you just like accidentally step in it? It's like, whoop.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Like, how many people accidentally did do that and didn't realize there was a cure? Like, oh, maybe this plant that's glowing funny is the answer.
Yeah.
Which those plants, by the way, like, this is a really weird comment coming from me,
Uh-huh.
but those plants were gorgeous.
Gonna take up botany.
Something is up.
Okay. Yeah, it was a very good episode, and I liked the moral of being like, you know, it's okay to be angry. It's just what you do with it.
I thought that was an excellent moral, legitimately. I was like,
Yeah.
because I even said to Paleo, I was like, that was actually pretty legit. Wow, all right.
Yeah.
Is this like the moral of Inside Out, but with anger instead? Of
Yes.
saying?
Basically, I love the part when Autumn Blaze like got frustrated and she walked off behind a rock and she went, "Ah!" Just to let it out. And I thought that was,
I was
a
like,
good.
"Ah,
I thought that was a good demonstration of like, you know, that's one way that you can vent out your anger and not like, you know, hurt anybody in the process. But yeah, it's a good, solid episode.
I
Hero.
also probably enjoyed this episode a little more than I should have because there's Karen in it.
Yeah.
And Karen, I first learned about from Monster Hunter.
Oh, nice.
And you know I love Monster Hunter.
What?
A lot.
I'm curious, Hero. What did you think of What Lies Beneath?
What happened in that episode again?
It was when the students like they go underneath the school and they're like tested by the Tree of Harmony.
Yeah. I like that episode too. I really, really like the Young Six. They did a good job warming me up to them. I thought that everyone's test completely paled in comparison to what's his name, Sambar? Sambar's test was the hardest by far. He's like, hey, disobey your
Yeah.
superiors.
Yeah.
And he was
The ones
like,
you look up to.
Yeah.
right. It blew my mind. I was like, he went up on my tier list of like good Young Six characters because he was like, well, if you're disappointed in me, I'm disappointed in you. I was like, yo, let's go, boy.
Yeah, but
Hello.
Smolder had to drink tea.
Well, right. So hard.
You all hear me all right?
Yep.
Hey.
Yes. I did the
Am I-
episode as well.
What?
I'm sorry, quick little mic check just to make sure. Am I echoing at all?
You
Hold on.
sound
let me-
like you're blowing in the wind.
Really?
Yeah.
I can hear your car.
Sorry, guys. So I'm driving back to my place. Laura actually felt really sick, and she was crashing pretty hard, and I wanted. She got work tomorrow morning early, so I left.
Okay.
That's right. I
hope
dumped
she
her.
feels better.
I can't take this.
Something about my needs.
What was that little just like laugh you just did?
Pillsbury Doughboy?
Doughboy!
Doughboy?
Hey, Doughboy! Is he? Dude boy, I'm the biggest kind of dude boy, and I'm going to dab on the fuckers.
All right.
So I think that's a wrap here on the MLP episodes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did want to mention to Hiro what I said earlier about how, like, at the end of the episode of What Lies Beneath, of like, I knew that little shit was up to something.
Oh my god, I hate her. I think.
I know I hate her. I just don't know if the show knows that I know.
Right. I was like, I'm so lucky I didn't trust her. Like, even after that episode she was in, I was like, something doesn't sit right.
Yeah, something
I made the comment about how at the end it's funny how usually when you have that moment where the music rises and it zooms in on a character and it's kind of that moment of, oh my god, this person's up to something.
Yeah.
Usually the
they
character,
make an evil
the
face.
facial expression changes, but instead this one's just like,
I know, they're actually doing a really good job of making her, like, making you really suspicious, but like not know why.
Yeah. I don't like her. We should put that one down.
Like, what other characters do that? Like, it's like, you know, credit to the writing staff for not making it too black and white, but it's like, yeah, you know, there's something going on. There's something not quite right about this character, and you just kind of see what happens. I don't know. Is she good? Is she Chrysalis? Because I'm like, oh, you got Chrysalis written all over this shit, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what ends up happening with her.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna take up the spoilers. So from this point forward, we will not be talking spoilers for MLP. However, we will be discussing another animated thing. This being a trailer that just recently came out. Sarah?
Into the Spider-Verse trailer.
Yes.
So fucking good. I'm so stoked for this movie. And,
right?
Yeah. I love that each character is like rendered in a slightly, like, and sometimes even like extremely different style. It's so good, and like it's a lot of work to do that, but like it's worth that effort to like just. It's so good.
the particular about all of this, and these are recent events here, and I say this knowing that I haven't seen either Spider-Verse, obviously because it's not out yet, or the new movie. Mm-hmm. Both come from Sony. Sony is lucky enough to be the ones who own Spider-Man, basically. And God, it's like giving a kid, like a 16-year-old, a car and be like, please don't fucking watch this.
Yeah.
This is a nice car, please. That being said, like, it's Venom sinks. It's not doing well right now as far as ratings go. Mm-hmm. There's this really, I'm not sure if Paleo knows about this. Paleo, if you do, chime in. But like, what recently happened is there was an interview with Tom Hardy and I think the director of the film for Venom. And sadly enough, it was on a YouTube channel where this guy, I forget his name, he's like a comic book reviewer and like comic book media shit. And they asked him, like, do you want to do the interview? And he's like, yes. And he's like really pumped into it. And during the interview, he just had the unfortunate luck of stumbling over this information, this deep wound that was hidden to the rest of the world, that Tom Hardy is not fucking happy with Venom. Because he's like, 40 minutes of the movie that I really liked is gone. Like, they took it out.
Yeah, you did mention that.
Which the director then said, well, it's because you didn't do a good job or something, but like, of that. It's like, holy fuck, what's going on?
Well, too bad you sucked.
I have news for you. Both of you didn't do a good job.
Well, right now,
I haven't seen the movie yet, but it seems like it's gonna be bad.
Well, it's funny because people say like it's somehow being like, no, Sony, you sucked. Yeah, it's your fault. I didn't do anything wrong. Mask, leave me alone. So, yeah.
Tom Hardy already from the trailers, he doesn't seem like an Eddie Brock at all.
There's a moment where I'm like, it looks cool, but the coolness aspect came more from the Venom, the symbiote.
Yeah.
But now it's like, man, and the thing is, apparently Sony was hoping to make this like their entry into like the Spider-Man cinematic universe, where they can start doing more villain movies and shit like that. And it's not gonna work. And it's the same shit with Warner Brothers and DC and Justice League. It just fucking. And then you got this beautiful little boy with golden hair, and his name's Spider-Verse, and you just want to give him all the golden...
And it's also from Sony, but like they're doing it right, because like that latest trailer, I'm like, hey, this is gonna be great.
The CEO for Sony, who gives a fuck about the animated movie? We won't mess with that one. And then the people with the animators are like, oh my god, thank god. The people stuck with it.
I gotta stop you for a second because we just got a donation from Quiet Storm, $5.
Nice.
And it is a question. Okay, then who is Ocellus's mother? If it's the parents from the Christmas episode, then where did they come from? Ocellus didn't think of herself as Chrysalis. So that's a little bit of spoilers of that one of the episodes that we just talked about. But yeah, I don't know. Like, she's Thorax's niece.
Is she?
So, I thought
Did
so.
they say that?
I thought so.
Isn't
I
that-
thought that was a detail that was said, but
Maybe she is Thorax.
let me Google that shit.
Think about it. Thorax can turn into little person.
I don't know if it was so much like.
You probably want to look up Ocellus, if anything.
How do you even know that Ocellus is the same character every single episode she appears in?
It's probably someone different every time.
Every time, right?
Ocellus, okay, here's the answer. Ocellus was a port on the Red Sea, on the Arabian side near or at Bab al-Mandeb.
I clicked. Oh wow. Okay, hold on.
Thank you, Sarah.
I don't know how to spell Ocellus. Okay, there it is. Okay.
Just type in MLB Ocellus, it'll correct you.
All right. Female
There's
changeling.
not.
What, Saber?
What?
Am I cutting out? Hello?
You're there.
Yeah.
Hello.
No, I was just saying, like, how can there not be like an anti-changeling like transformation spell at the school at all times? Like that's insanely powerful. Even if it's not even for the students, like for changelings who might fuck with the school, like Chrysalis or whatever.
You think that she would have gotten in trouble for it the first round she did it? Like, you figured there would have been a conversation about it, but in this last episode, she did it like, here I am as, who was it, Applejack?
Yeah.
Y'all,
Yeah.
honesty. And I'm like, well, I guess she's still doing it.
Yeah.
Rebecca.
Okay. Let's see. Having been brought to Ponyville by Thorax to represent the changelings, and she.
Occupation, student at the School of Friendship.
I don't know. Like, I guess maybe that was just an assumption that I made.
Here, I'll show you how to find out
Okay.
everything you want to know.
All right.
Everything.
Maybe
That
look
is
up the
powerful.
word niece. I don't know. I just felt like she's. I feel like she's related to Thorax somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're crazy.
I thought all the changes like come from Chrysalis, as like Chrysalis is like a queen bee, and she just like
Oh
shoots
yeah,
them all
that's
out.
true. Hmm. Yeah.
So they're disobeying the queen. How about that?
What if...
I guess, yeah, they did that in the episode, didn't
I
they?
think everyone needs to realize that Chrysalis is every changeling's mother. Chrysalis lays eggs,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's where changelings come from.
Does she lay eggs?
Yeah, she lays eggs.
I think so. Yeah.
Huh, okay.
But then there's I guess
They showed it like the full thing.
I guess maybe
Yeah.
young are.
This is so freaky
I think
sounding.
young maybe are passed off to like surrogates, so that like I don't know.
I was actually joking, but
So yeah,
maybe
I mean,
she
Oh,
did.
God.
So I guess it does
Maybe
make
she
sense
does.
for her to be afraid of becoming like Chrysalis because like
Mama.
I mean she is a female and like I
Who
guess
who introduced?
Oh yeah, so it'd be like for like ants and bees, where like
Ah,
a
you're
female
right.
will become the queen.
yeah. So there you go, Quiet Storm. I hope we answered that question for you.
Interesting.
Wait, who introduced Ocellus? Like, because when all the young six were coming into this.
Oh, it was,
Thorax.
Thorax.
With them.
Yeah,
It was
Thorax
Thorax
was the
with
one
her.
that accompanied her, and
So he's at least a parental figure, kinda. At least.
Yeah.
yeah, maybe.
So, I mean, Thorax...
You know what's interesting now is that Thorax, like, has a brother, but then I'm like, if all of the changelings are your quote-unquote brother and sisters, like, why do you have such a close, like...
Well, no, that was his point, is that's my brother.
Or
I have
maybe,
to take care of him.
maybe if we do go, like, the surrogate route, then they were both placed with the same surrogate parents.
This seems so dark.
This is like when people delved too far into The Lion King and told me all the relations. I was like, it was better than all of this information.
Simba and Nala are brother and sister.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to think about, but then you just, like, go down a rabbit hole.
I just realized.
And then you become a pony analysis channel.
Oh my god.
We don't want that to happen.
Be careful what you look up, by the way. Because I just realized we might find information for... Right. So, okay. So, as we were discussing with the Spider-Verse trailer, it looks good. Yeah. I could kind of care less about Spider-Man, but even I'm like, this looks good.
Yeah.
So that's about where I am, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited about Spider-Ham, Spider-Man Noir, voiced by Nick Cage.
Yeah, I was like, Nicolas Cage, oh my god!
Oh, hi.
He's such an interesting actor.
I guess
he is.
One of the other characters that I've literally never heard about is Penny Parker, which is the little
it's like an anime Spider-Man.
Yeah, with like a mecha suit.
Forget it all. No one cares about any of the other ones. It's all about ham sandwich.
Oh, man. Everybody loves Spider-Ham.
Yeah.
Like, they're going crazy.
Spider-Ham. Spider-Pig, man.
Yeah, Spider-Pig. Yeah, like I was watching the Double Toasted reaction to the trailer, and like Corey was saying that the Spider-Ham was like part of a comic series that Marvel put out in the early 80s called like Marvel Tales, like Tales as an animal, and like where all the heroes are just animals.
Furries.
Is that where like the frog Thor came from?
Probably, yeah.
There's a version of Thor that is a frog.
There's like a Captain America cat.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Goose Rider.
Why can't all comics be like that?
Yeah, but the funny thing about Spider-Ham is that for Peter Porker, so
oh
yeah,
my lord,
oh my god.
So he's not a pig that was bitten by a spider. He's a spider that was bitten by a radioactive pig.
Nice.
And became.
That's so good.
It's hilarious.
It's.
What? Okay. Yeah. No, that's interesting. I honestly just figured that whatever Ham or whatever his name is, I figured that they were like, well, he did show up in the Simpsons movie.
Like, no, this was like way before the Simpsons was even created.
Like the 80s, early 80s, I think, is when he first. All right. Well, while we're talking a bit about movie news, something that came up today is apparently Lilo and Stitch is getting a live action.
Do you want to go into this without Saber? Okay.
Well, Saber's here now.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
I didn't know you made it back. Cool. Lilo and Stitch, the live action movie. I saw this and I'm like,
stop.
Yeah.
I'm like, we've called this one. Like, one of us has at least made this joke twice now. That next up is going to be a Lilo and Stitch live action movie. Not maybe necessarily that it would be the very next movie, but that they were going to do it.
Yeah.
And
announce it at least.
I don't know, man. Like, honestly, I think
like of all the like post Renaissance movies, Lilo and Stitch would be the one because that was the most successful of that era.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I hope they do. I doubt they will.
Yeah.
But my hope is that they go the live action route, but keep Stitch in 2D. Keep the aliens in 2D.
The thing is, like Lilo and Stitch, like in live action, that's just E.T.
It's gonna be really weird how they translate, like especially Jumba
it's
and
like Men in Black
into
almost.
3D. Like some characters you just gotta keep 2D. Like that's how they were initially made and designed for.
It's so lazy though, because all Disney's really doing, and this is part of the eternal debate of like, is this stuff even worth doing to begin with? And it's they throw out all the movies that did well and go, all we have to do is just do a live action adaptation and it's guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Like we're not trying to win Oscars here really.
Mm-hmm.
We're just here to make some money.
Yeah.
Because like Emma Watson as Belle was awful. I'm sorry, just awful.
Yeah.
And very forgettable. Like that came and went.
Absolutely. Is she amazing? I could sing better. But, like, there hasn't really been a single one where I'm like, wow, that was absolutely fantastic and very much so needed. Like the Lion King one, you can't even really call it live action. It's all computer animated. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really uninspired and them just taking safe bets because apparently Disney's really hurting for money right now. So
I just really wish they would use those resources for something else,
right?
Something more original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did see somebody also make the point. It might have been one of you. Actually, I don't know. But I did see somebody who was like, there's movies that would legitimately be real cool if they made them live action.
Yeah.
But they're not gonna because maybe they didn't do the best, like Treasure Planet or Atlantis.
Yeah.
It's like those
Sword
would
in
be
the
cool. I saw that. Sword in the Stone. I was like, huh. Okay, because
you could.
They could. Disney has a
they
weird.
don't want to because this isn't art though for them. This is money. It's always
Yeah.
the bottom line, and they don't. The only thing that they ever did recently where I was like, that was interesting was Pete's Dragon.
Right.
Yeah.
And I wasn't.
That one was okay.
I wasn't.
It's very much not at all like the original movie, which bummed me out because like, we actually enjoy the original movie.
I love the
unlike
original.
a lot of people.
Yeah, I found out how many people hated the original when that movie was coming out, and then I'm like, well, you guys can suck on this new one all you want. I got my old one.
We got it on DVD and everything.
I love what's
Dr.
his name?
Terminus.
Oh my god.
Every little piece.
Every little piece.
Slice him up, dice him up.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Like
he's a very good villain. He's
over
a very
the top.
fun villain.
He's one of my favorite villains.
All right. Let's because it's at 7:30 right now, so let's start moving along because there's a couple more things that I wrote down.
All right.
Which one do you want to talk about?
So we're gonna be discussing some park related stuff here.
Yeah.
First off, I guess we'll
As in
move
Disneyland Park.
Well, not just Disneyland.
Okay,
Let's start with the first one. Who's willing to do this? Six Flags has a coffin challenge. 30 hours.
You have to stay in a coffin.
And you will get $300.
The payoff is
300?
Yeah.
300?
The best part was the first message I saw, like, in relation to this was someone going, that's $10 an hour.
Minimum wage.
Not even near.
Right. It has to be like at least 30,000. It has to be at least 30,000 to do that.
Yeah.
Someone's like, I'm really not employed.
Yeah, just.
Wow.
Yeah, let me. Yeah.
30
Okay, yeah, $300.
More bad news today as 17 homeless people died in coffins. We can't even use the coffins to bury the dead people.
Because they have to be reused.
Like, do they give you food and junk while you're in there?
A straw? Where do you use?
How do you go to the bathroom? Yeah.
Do you have a hole you can pee in?
This is very stupid.
Another bold feat if you're brave enough. 30
I paused you little video. Thanks.
Very...
Okay, let's see.
Would you spend the weekend in
What-
a tiny cramped
space?
space for a chance
$300.
at $300?
Apparently, you get the coffin for free.
What the fuck? You get the coffin? Oh, that'll look great in my garage, right next to my motorcycle.
What?
Dude, coffins.
Okay, so this was something that I was curious about how much cover. Like, what do you have to lay in it or sit in it? 3/4 of your body will be covered with a lid.
Which do you get to choose? Which 3/4?
That's oh my god. Nobody's gonna
Is it
fucking
your head?
do that.
Like, but if your head's sticking out, big deal.
Wait, 3/4? What do your feet stick out?
In coffin meal breaks and 6-minute hourly bathroom breaks make it possible, but Six Flags isn't trying to make it easy.
Well, yeah, for $300.
I'm sorry, that's weird. Like every 6 hours you have to go up. Hey, take a 5-minute break, walk around, stretch your muscles. We don't want you to get hurt. All right.
Wait. Do you say 6-minute bathroom breaks every hour?
Wait.
Yes.
Wait. But you guys don't understand.
Wait, that's easy mode. Like every hour?
Yeah.
But time out. You don't know how hard this truly is. You see, ghouls, goblins, zombies, or whatever other fright fest creatures the park has concocted will be right there with you, rattling chains and creepily moaning.
And you know what makes me really sad is that they don't even have Wi-Fi for your phone that you bring to the coffin.
Actually, it's worse than that.
Technology is allowed at all.
You are not allowed a cell phone charger or cell phone in the coffin.
A friend can join you during the park's opening hours.
No, they have visiting hours from 12 to 11. Someone can be with you to support you through this.
Yeah.
This is
12 p.m. to 11 p.m.
This has got to be one of the dumbest.
It's only 30 hours, right?
30
hours.
And you get like 6-minute bathroom breaks
6-minute
every
bathroom
hour.
visiting hour? Like,
and they do say there's meal breaks. I wonder who's paying for those.
Those are in coffin meal breaks.
In coffin meal breaks.
This is getting easier and easier the more you describe it.
But it is $300.
The fine print says participants should prepare for fog, dramatic lighting, flash photos, and bad weather.
Hey!
Bring an umbrella!
This is stupid.
I'm so dumb.
All right.
I just want to know who's the poor soul that's hired. That's like, all right, welcome to our to your seasonal job here at Six Flags. So your job's gonna be you have
Trying
the
to
night
scare
shift.
The people in the coffin.
You have the
for
night
40
shift
hours.
from 1 a.m. to 10 a.m. where you need to sit here while the park's closed and just watch these people and make sure nobody tries to go to the bathroom twice.
Spook them a few times.
Swear to
while you're at
God,
it.
if someone 6 minutes, that's all they get. You better count them, chase them out of the bathroom if you have to.
Yeah.
300.
Could you imagine if you had to poop and then like you go out and then like 6 minutes has gone by and the guy comes in and then they open their door and they're like, I'm shitting.
What if you like all of a sudden have the super insane, like let's say you're committed to this and you really want to do it and you just went to the bathroom, but something that you ate a couple hours ago is really suddenly not agreeing with you, but you're like, do I give up the $300? Like, you're in hour 29 right now.
Dude, that's $300. It probably cost you $40 to get down to the park to begin with.
But dude, just imagine if all of a sudden you had like really bad diarrhea, but you weren't willing to get out of the coffin. You're like, hey, I need this coffin. That's the thing. You gotta keep the coffin.
They better set up a live cam for this. Like,
They're
for the
begging you to
people.
get out of the coffin.
Like, I really want them to have a live cam for this. Like, just watching the people.
They do not recommend this for anyone with claustrophobia. FYI.
I don't recommend it for anyone.
So, let's do it.
No.
Let's do it.
All right, just a couple more things that I wanted to bring up. So, for the first time at Disneyland, alcohol will be served.
At Disneyland.
Yeah, at Disneyland. This is something that's never really been done.
Asterisk next to this. Technically, Club 33 does serve, but
to
the public.
To the public.
Yes.
Indefinitely?
It's going to be at Star Wars Land.
Yeah, they're opening up the cantina, and they will serve alcohol there apparently. God damn it! I keep dropping my pen.
Sarah's excited.
Oh, but yeah, that was a bit of exciting news that we heard.
Oh, you are excited. You're
I
going
mean,
to get drunk.
Sure, I'll have alcohol at Disneyland.
And she'll finally go on Splash Mountain.
Oh, maybe. Well, I go on Splash Mountain, but you
You
always
haven't
ask
been on
at
Splash
the end.
Mountain.
You always ask
I
at
asked-
the end of the day.
No,
when the
would
sun's
never.
going down and it starts to get chilly.
I asked all the time.
Okay. All right, and I also want to talk about.
Here we
so,
go.
Race and I, we went on Pirates of the Caribbean, and this was the first time that we've been on it since they did their changes, such as the redhead scene has been changed. And sometimes a thing that Disney occasionally does when they do like a big like refurbishment or something like that, where they're changing a scene, usually they'll either like upgrade something in the ride or add a new effect. And I was very pleasantly surprised that they did add a new effect.
Yeah, this is one of those where I don't want to. Well, it's a combo. Like, this won't spoil it for anybody necessarily, but the new refurbishment that came into play was the redhead.
Yeah.
We knew that they were gonna change out the auction scene. It's still an auction scene.
Yeah. It's just they're not auctioning women.
Show them. What is it? Show them your
flock.
Sure.
So the woman that, like, the kind of portly woman that he's like, oh, show them your larboard side, and she kind of like turns around. Now it's show them your flock, and she's got like a basket of chickens or whatever.
Too bad it wasn't hilarious. A rooster, and he said, show them your cock.
It is so funny to me, the change that show them your flock.
So the scene itself, I'm every time.
That's so. Oh my god.
I still want to, like, when I go through there, I always used to chant with the pirates, "We want the redhead," and I still feel inclined to do it, but I feel like everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, here's this misogynist who's just like, oh, he likes manhood," and I'm just like, no, I just like chanting.
But yeah, you know, honestly, like, I didn't so the redhead herself has had a major upgrade, and she actually moves.
Yeah, she looked good.
And she looks phenomenal. Like, the way, like, I think
her bosoms bounce.
No, like, the way she moves is extremely realistic, and like, she's one of those top animatronics that Disney has nowadays. Like,
yeah, they upgraded a couple of the animatronics on this round, so they all look good.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing for anybody. Oh, sorry, were you going?
No.
I was gonna say one thing that anyone that is familiar with Disneyland or has been there, God, maybe since the second Pirates movie came out, is there used to be this effect that's been there for a long time, and I don't mean long as in like compared to the ride itself, but maybe 10 years, maybe more. It's this fog curtain. Saber, you might remember this, or any of you guys that have been to Disneyland might remember, where you're going through this dark cave, and then you approach this kind of fog curtain, and suddenly like Davy Jones appears on it and says something. And
for a short while, there was also Blackbeard.
And Blackbeard. And so they had this effect there for a while, and it was one of those.
It wasn't really ever like a great effect.
No,
it was just like okay.
It felt like someone to like, we'll throw in these characters because they're in our movies. This time around, it feels like since they got rid of this and replaced it with a new effect in that area. Yeah. And it was an effect that actually really surprised me because it basically it has this pirate that's sitting in kind of an interesting position.
Yeah, I think he's like sitting in like a cage, or I don't know what those are called officially, like
I don't know.
Body, I don't know.
Yeah, but he's sitting there. He's sitting there, and as you go by, something surprising happens.
Yeah, like he turns into bones.
He transitions, and it's a very good transition. Yeah. And I was
looking forward to seeing that.
It's really cool.
I was very impressed with it because I didn't expect it. I didn't know it was going to happen, so I'm just kind of glancing at him. And honestly, some people probably looked at this guy and then and then look forward and not realize.
Yeah, I was about to be that person until Race was like, "Sarah, look," and I looked backwards and it was a skeleton, and I'm like, "The fuck."
It's cool. It's cool. You gotta check
and not only that, they, I guess, with that change, because, you know, a lot of times with the fog curtain, Davy Jones would say a thing, or Blackbeard would say the thing.
He be fair fool enough to face a pirate's curse.
Yes.
Proceed.
But now that fog curtain's gone and they have this new effect in there, they've apparently put back in some original...
The old audio. I was so happy. That was my sign of, wait, something's different. It has like these old men talking about, the treasure's cursed or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it's the audio that I grew up with going through this. So I had a total nostalgia trip. Yeah. I was like, yes.
You should have seen his face. It was very cute. He was just like,
and everyone else is probably like, okay. But I don't know. To me, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is that gets us through all of our topics. Had a lot of good topics lined up.
Yeah.
If I may say so myself. But yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a very abbreviated Q&A session here. it won't go past 8 o'clock. So about 15 minutes worth of questions.
15 minutes.
As we've said, and as you've seen, with super chats, that is your way to ensure that we'll get to one of your questions.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you'd like to submit a question through Twitter, SPP questions, that is the hashtag to use. Again, hashtag SPP.
SPP questions.
SPP.
PPP.
SPP questions. Yeah, so if you do submit one through Super Chats, you will for sure have your question answered. Everyone else, we'll get through what we can.
Yes.
All right. So
let's see.
Let's see here. I want.
Okay.
I
He wants control of the mouse.
I want to do it.
Oh, ouch! Sorry.
I want to.
That hurt my ears.
Let's see here. What? Some of these are interesting. I guess we'll start off with an easy one. Anime guy asking, what are your favorite Spider-Man villains?
Green Goblin, Spider-Man.
I guess I'm gonna need to say
Do this to me.
Venom. Probably Venom. I don't know. Like I'm not very well versed in Spider-Man and like all of his villains,
Tobey Maguire.
but of the ones that I know,
Himself.
Trash,
Venom
Brock.
sticks out.
Yeah. After playing the Spider-Man game on PS4, which is like really good,
Mhm.
I started rewatching the '90s cartoon, and that has like a ton of the villains in it. A lot of them are like really interesting, and some of them like aren't completely evil. Like the Lizard, like he's just like a scientist that's trying to like regrow his arm back.
Yeah.
And like trying to like regrow like prosthetic limbs and stuff, and that's sort of part of what Dr. Octavius is working on in the Spider-Man video game.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how like there's different like interpretations of the villains. Like it also like the Vulture for the Spider-Man Homecoming, where it's played by Michael Keaton, and then like because usually like the Vulture is a lot older. And like in the Spider-Man 90s cartoon, like he's older, but like he has this power where he sucks the age out of younger people so he can get younger. It's so weird. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of great Spider-Man villains. Of like any Marvel character, probably has like the most comparable to like Batman's.
Interesting.
For the DC side. So
Yeah, probably. In fact, so much so that I get them mixed up sometimes. Probably Mysterio. I think he's the most interesting one.
Oh yeah,
He hasn't gotten that much spotlight.
Though he's probably going to be in the next Spider-Man movie.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, like because I think they like signed on Jake Gyllenhaal to play Mysterio.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be interesting what they do with him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we do have a super chat question
From
coming in
David
from
3X.
David 3X. Thank you so much for your contribution. Asking, what is the most scariest photos you've ever seen?
Scary photos. Do they have to be?
Anytime Saber posts a selfie.
I was gonna say the same thing
about your. Oh.
Probably when Race and I went to go see an art exhibit, and we walked into the room.
Oh God!
And we realized that the art exhibit was very much like a anti-war sort of thing, and it wasn't subtle about it in the slightest. And there were like photographs of like dead bodies, and not just like.
Not
like
it
pieces,
wasn't just like
gruesome.
oh wow that's a dead body. It was like
like,
no, here's like a close-up shot of like someone's head that's broken in half.
Yeah, it was not pleasant.
Sarah, what's funny is I was this close to getting through that whole exhibit without having realized that those pictures were in there, and because they all were lined on the ground, and
no, they weren't on the ground. Like they were all over the place.
Whatever. I wasn't paying attention.
He was very oblivious to it.
I was just like, dude, this is art, okay. And then all of a sudden I turned around and I'm like, why is Sarah just like booking it out of this art exhibit?
Yeah, I saw a couple of images and I'm like, oh fuck,
And what
this
did
is
you,
what this is.
Do you remember what you said to me? And I was like, what's wrong?
I'm like,
Oh god.
Yeah, what was that?
Speaking of terrifying.
Did he post something?
Huh? No.
No, his
there was
voice
just like
did
this
something.
loud screech on your guys'.
Oh no, sorry.
What?
I guess there was
Now
like a
I'm-
loud
now-
It wasn't like deafening.
It
was
must have
actually...
been our Discord, so yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like, I saw a couple of those photos, and I was just like, oh, okay, I need to get out of here. Like, I'm not gonna, like, subject myself to any of this. So I start leaving, and Race turns around, and he's like, oh, where are you going? What's wrong? And I'm like, I can't look at these photos. And he's like, what photos? And then he turns around, and he sees one, and he's like...
I was basically like, oh, fuck. Because, yeah, we've told the story, I think, before on this podcast, but essentially I'm someone who, if I glance or see a glance of something like this, which is, like, extremely gory, it doesn't work for me to just, like, oh, time to walk away. Like I almost have to digest it and just be like, I need to just look at it and get this, like, through my system. And because if I don't, it's always going to be at the back of my head. And always be like,
there's some of those things, not even just horror related, but like some things are like, once it enters my mind, I can't just be like, nope, not thinking about that, because then I'll think about it even harder. I have to combat it.
Yeah, and that's what I had to do. I'm like, I literally I have to just face these pictures, because otherwise I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna keep thinking about it, even years from it, thinking, what the hell else was there? So I just was like, I'm just gonna bite the bullet here, and yeah, I went through the whole thing, and it destroyed. We were gonna go to Disneyland and everything.
Yeah, his soul left his body for a short period of time.
Short. It was like less than a day.
Like 3 to 4 hours. He was just like kind of just after he saw like all of the stuff. Like I took him there because I was doing like a project for my history class, so I'm like having to do my homework, and he's just like sitting in the corner, just like staring into nothingness.
Sitting there in my Zootopia shirt, all ready for Disneyland.
Man.
Just like, what the...
I'm kind of opposite in which, like, I can put things away very easily. Like, I can just, when I saw those photos, I'm just like, oh, not doing this. I'm leaving. I'm not going to give it another thought. Like, I feel like, I don't know, that's something that I've, like, I don't know, done over the years. Okay.
Excelled at.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have an answer for that question?
Yeah, I'm looking for it, though.
Oh, great.
So I'll post it when I find it.
Okay.
Well, while you look for it, we have another super chat question that just came in from Ozzyall. We'll answer this one, and then we got another one.
Yep.
A super chat question from Lancer737. So starting with Ozzyall, asking, what did you think about the mysterious Mr. Enter talking about his criticism in his latest video?
Does anybody know who Mr. Enter is?
He's a cartoon reviewer. He got a lot of shit back in the day. He made a video just talking about how he's just like, yeah, I get bullied a lot. And a lot of the cartoon folks from the review community came out being like, hey, we've been assholes. We're sorry. And he's like, it's cool. And that's it. People have been moving on, and there hasn't been any kind of fallout or anything.
Huh.
Just kind of cleared the air. So, yeah.
So it's kind of like a rant that ended well?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
That never happens.
Apparently he's
never ever.
He's apparently a meme.
Well, so am I, technically.
Oh, okay, I guess so.
I'm Vermin Supreme. I am a meme.
Whoa, advertisements.
Whoa, Sarah.
As soon as Vermin Supreme tried doing that, he instantly became not a meme.
I know. He unmemed himself. When memes become self-aware, it's sometimes a very light... speaking of memes that became self-aware, you guys have all seen the one where it's like the guy and girl walking, but he's looking back at another girl. Apparently, those people took a picture in front of that. It looked like it was in a museum or something, and so that group of 3 people took that same picture in front of it. And I guess that picture was taken a while ago because they all looked older, or they just weren't the same people. One or the other.
Interesting.
I'm trying to look up what this thing is, because,
your spelling's not very good.
Well, it's kind of hard when I have these chords and all that. I'm, trying to...
Chords? Lord.
Yeah, the
Now,
audio
now you're just messing
Just
around.
help me.
No, Sarah's
We
learning.
type.
Sarah's learning
Alright.
to type.
While he's typing this out,
This? Is
Lancer.
this what you wanted?
Yeah. Well, no, I just because that's gonna take me to his page. I just
Okay.
want to see what people are saying on Twitter.
Okay. Well, while Sarah looks into this,
Well, yeah.
Lancer737 has a very important question I want us all to think about. All right. Why is Christopher Walken scared of Pinkie Pie?
What?
Why
The
is
thing that he's scared of?
why is Christopher Walken scared of Pinkie Pie?
I mean, if you take her out of the context of the show, she's a terrifying being. So I understand. Like if Pinkie Pie just like showed up in your house, you would be very terrified. Wouldn't you?
She's there's something there, man. Like watching the movie again, I was like,
She's a very good character in the movie.
she's a good character in the movie, but she has moments that still kind of remind me like there's something
Off.
buried. Yeah, you're like Christopher Walken's not easily spooked, but I think Pinkie Pie would give him a run for his money. Absolutely.
Okay, about the mysterious enter guy. I guess like he did a video in which I guess I don't know. There's a person named Lily. I'm guessing that might be someone he does his videos with. But like apparently they like went at it with like the Crooniverse, and you know I don't know. I'm reading people's tweets, so
Oh,
it's
is
not
this
like
about
the
it-
best. Like, but what I get from it is that they did a video in which they kind of like I guess criticized the
Rebecca?
writers and Rebecca Sugar and on the Crooniverse. And maybe people are all up in arms about it. I don't know what this video is. I haven't watched it.
Remember
anything,
that show
but-
Steven Universe?
Yeah.
It was good back in the day. I remember that show. All right. Well, fantastic questions. Thank you again for your contributions. We have about 5 minutes left in the podcast. Nora has a question here for everybody, asking if you could bring back one Disney park ride, what would it be?
Alien Counter.
Oh, is that the one that got replaced by like Stitch?
Yeah, and that ride's currently like.
Apparently now it's going to be Wreck-It Ralph.
What?
What?
I heard rumor that it's going to be Wreck-It Ralph, like the internet thing.
I heard a rumor that Zootopia Land.
Oh, that sounds very temporary with the Wreck-It Ralph thing.
Oh
so I
yeah,
don't know.
it probably will be temporary, but like I'm just
will it be
that's
there
a rumor
when,
that I
will
heard.
it be there when we're there?
There's
I don't-
a channel I follow called Offhand Disney,
Mhm.
and he made a pretty bold proposal that I'm actually kind of like, you know what, I might be on board for that. And that's that Tomorrowland needs a fucking desperate makeover, because
Yeah.
like there's so many parts of it where it's like, what the fuck is going on here? Like this
Yeah.
doesn't feel like
some,
it's
yeah.
It-
Tomorrowland is
polished.
in need.
Tomorrowland
of an upgrade
isn't-
because like it's supposed to be the land of tomorrow, but like it's still stuck in like the 50s when the.
It's well. What's funny is it's
Hero,
the land.
Don't you love it how like these people can go to Disneyland so often they get to complain about it?
I love it.
Well,
You know, it really bothered me. My sirloin steak wasn't medium rare.
So what's interesting about Tomorrowland, if anyone goes, whether they're regulars or someone that doesn't get to go often, there's things that I don't think pop out to people immediately, but then the more you look around the land, the more you go, wait, what's that? Like there's literally in Tomorrowland an entire track for a ride that hasn't been used in maybe 15 years.
Yeah.
It's what used to be the People Mover in Tomorrowland, which was then replaced by a ride called Rocket Rods, which I think before Rocket Rod showed up, I think the People Mover had been gone for a while, a couple years anyway. And they're like, wait, we got it. We're going to replace it with this cool ride that's just, the whole premise of it was like kind of just to appreciate automobiles. The whole queue like kind of showed you the history of cars and stuff, but in a cool way where like you're seeing some really bad ideas that people had for cars, like ones that bounced instead of rolled. Yeah, but and it's Rocket Rods was a ride that 100% it just
Didn't work.
It didn't work. They basically wanted to make what was made for a very slow ride. They're like, well, what if we made it fast paced? But the ride vehicles themselves couldn't handle the speed. It's specifically the turns. The turns weren't banked for the speeds, so all the load that was going on the vehicles couldn't take it, and the ride would shut down so often that I don't think it lasted 2 years.
Yeah.
I did go on it a couple times while it was around, and funny enough, I'd probably say that'd be a ride that I'd love to see them bring back.
The People Mover at Disney World was wonderful. Like it's amazing how a ride that isn't fast or whatever or anything like that is like still insanely enjoyable. And again, it's going through Tomorrowland. And the thing is, like, Tomorrowland's this hodgepodge of like, okay, this is charming old retro. This is supposed to be new. This is fucking Star Wars. Okay, this is Buzz Lightyear. Hey, there's a hot dog stand with a star on it. I don't know. Like it's so weird. And then they fucking destroyed the People Mover at Disneyland. It's like, what the fuck are you all doing?
Yeah.
It just because you look at like New Orleans Square, it looks so wonderful. I don't know. It feels like it's all on the same page and nice charm and then you got Tomorrowland. But this is like a topic for another day, I suppose.
Yeah.
We
should come back to this topic because there's a lot of old stuff that I'd love to bring up.
Talk about that movie.
Oh, Tomorrowland.
But yeah.
What ride would you want back?
Here we go.
I'm curious to check this out when we go to Disney World. They've apparently done a massive overhaul on, I guess replaced the Great Movie Ride, which is honestly one of my favorite rides at Walt Disney World and the Hollywood studio or whatever itself. But like they've apparently replaced it with like a Mickey Mouse sort of like, it's based on like the new Mickey Mouse shorts, which I enjoy those. But like at the same time, will it even compare to the Great Movie Ride? So I'm interested to see that, but I feel like that'd be something that I want to have back is the Great Movie Ride because
one.
It's such a good.
I was surprised that they got rid of it.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any ride that you'd want to see back that is gone?
I don't go to Disney enough to know what rides are gone.
I think there was a similar question to this like last time, but it was like more of a what ride would you revert back to its original? And I think I said Hollywood Tower of Terror for that one.
So, which is funny.
Take one for the team.
Which is funny for someone who won't touch that ride.
Yeah, I'm doing everybody a favor.
I'm gonna add 2 more to this list of like rides that I miss from Disneyland. One was actually a ride that was in California Adventures. It was called Maliboomer, and I still don't know why they got rid of this ride because it feels like they never put anything in its place. But it's basically one of those rides that all it does is go up and down, and it goes very high. And of course, if you don't like heights, you're hating this ride. But what I loved about it was different because like Knott's Berry Farm is another local amusement park out here. And it brings you up super slow, and it drives me nuts. I hate it so much, but I'll sometimes do it because I guess I hate myself. But I hate that climb because then you look up, and that's when you get dizzy and start going, oh my god, there's still so much more to go, and you get that weird tingling sensation in your crotch, and you're like, everything's wrong. But that being said, Maliboomer was opposite, where it would launch you up. And so you just went like whoosh. You didn't have the suspense. The whole suspense was you waiting for it to launch, but then once it launched, you were going up. It had less of a height feeling to it. It also gave you a great view of Anaheim and of the parks if you were sitting on the right side. So I loved that. But also, were you guys aware that they had, in Zootopia, they have, what is it, like a gondola or whatever?
Yeah.
That they ride in that scene that has a super heartfelt moment between Judy and Nick. Mm-hmm. That Disneyland used to have that, and it used to go up and through the Matterhorn. The top of the Matterhorn?
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting ride to see back. Like, obviously, I'd need to trust it.
I feel like they wouldn't do that because, like, you have to make it pretty certain that no one's going to jump out.
You do, and I don't think they would. To answer your
last
question.
thing you would want is someone jumping out and being like, yeah. You know, we should have an episode talking about Disney attractions.
Let's do that. Mark that down, Sarah. Now, just a heads up for people. Sarah was kind of looking ahead on our schedule. 2 weeks from now, we will be back. That is the 17th of October. We will be back for the Semi-Perfect podcast. 2 weeks after that, we might shift because we happen to land directly on Halloween night.
Right on Halloween.
And I don't think any of us would rather be sitting here doing the podcast than doing something on Halloween night. So, what do you think? Maybe we'll shift that one to Tuesday.
Yeah, the day before.
Halloween Eve.
Yes. And I will post this on our official Twitter account, but what we really love doing every Halloween is having people take pictures of them in their Halloween costumes.
Yes.
And sharing it with us on Twitter. I will make a more official post on Twitter about that.
Well, then should we move it to Thursday, the day after Halloween, so we could talk about Halloween?
You could. Yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Would that work for you guys, you podcasters, Saber and Hero and Paleo?
What day exactly?
November 1st.
If we move it to the day after Halloween.
Sure.
Cool. And we'll update that if we decide for some reason, oh no, let's not do that, let's do Tuesday instead. But like we said, we won't land on Halloween because it's Halloween.
So, you gotta enjoy your Halloween day.
I only get one a
I
year.
found my scary picture, by the way.
All right, I want to see this.
It's not even that scary. It's unsettling. Like, I look at it for a little bit, and I'm like, it's not too bad. And then I notice there's a guy sleeping.
Is it the one with
and, like,
Spike? Spike from G1?
No. I do love that.
This one.
Yeah. I don't even
Does
know
anything
how
happen in this GIF?
No, it's just unsettling. Because, like, it took me a while to realize that there's a guy, like, sleeping there.
I get freaked out by pictures that have, like, things in the background that shouldn't be there.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of things that you're just like, oh, that's creepy. But yeah, folks, that's gonna be a wrap here on the Semi-Perfect podcast. Thank you all for coming out.
Can I plug my Twitch because I'm gonna be streaming?
Nope.
Right after this.
Thanks for coming out, everyone. Do it.
But yeah, no, like right after this, I'm gonna be streaming some more Kingdom Hearts stuff over my Twitch channel. So yeah, you can come join me there.
Nice.
Sounds like fun.
If you want to.
Alrighty then.
Oh!
What was that?
Remember how when I was at Disneyland and I was like, what happened to the blue line? I could have sworn I rode the blue line a whole lot, and I loved riding the blue line because it was really just relaxing, and y'all were like, I have no idea what the blue line is, my guy.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's the Tomorrowland Transit Authority people mover now.
Oh, okay.
So that's it. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, folks, we're gonna have a big discussion about it sounds like amusement parks next time we're out here. We will be back on October 17th, and we hope you all have a great 2 weeks following. Keep an eye out. I'm hoping. Well, we'll see. We'll see when the Bronies React gets out. the date TBD.
Yeah, what's taking so long?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to tell them, Saber?
Who killed Mufasa?
Get out of my church!
Everyone, have a great night. Thank you for coming out. I'm ACRacebest signing off with the Semi-Perfect podcast. Good night, everybody.
Good night, them ponies.
Good night.
Have a good night.
All right, I'm gonna go stream. So.